I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Because your business matters.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. I am Joe Vagnone, and we're coming to you live from Burner Cigar Studios, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Brookdale Village and also in Denver on Highway 16. Go on by there and tell them that Joe sent you, and your first cigar is on me. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. And my guest for the entire month, which by now you should know, but if you don't, I'll say it again, Matthew Rand. He's my friend. I get to call him Matt. Everybody else, you need to call him Matthew. He wrote a book, Financial Superstitions, 10 Lies We Tell Our Children. It's just a great book. You were on a show about a year ago. I asked you to sign this book for my son, and I've yet to give it to him. You know, so Matt, thank you, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yep.
So for those that don't know, what is it that you do on a regular basis? Because I know business coaching, you like to call yourself a small business guru. So kind of walk me through what that looks like. What's a guru look like?
Well, guru is just like a teacher, right? A teacher, and I love to inspire people to do the work on themselves, personal development, to become entrepreneurs, to become investors, to become successful. Really, you working on yourself is the major asset. Yeah.
And you and I have been talking about these generational differences all month.
Yep.
And we've been getting beat up some.
A little bit.
Because our view and their view is different of our interpretation of what we're saying.
Correct. And the way we communicate is different. And the way we like to communicate is different, right? If I have $1 million for you, if I can't leave a voicemail, I'm not investing with you.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Right. But
and my son will not answer a voicemail. He just wants to see that I called, and he'll call back when he can.
Yes, exactly. And if I can't leave a voicemail, if the voicemail box is not set up, oh man, that's an offense, right?
I mean, my son will get mad at me because he'll say, "Dad, I called you," and I said, "Son, I didn't get a message. You can tell I called." And so to them, that's it, that I should check who called, and that means call me back.
Yep, exactly.
So anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I found this chart on the Google.
Yep.
Because I like the Google, right? I don't always agree with the Google, but I like the Google. So I go to the Google, and there's this chart, what each generation wants out of work. Now, you and I went through a couple of these. I want to go through a couple more because I thought it was kind of fun. Okay. So one of them that was kind of interesting is preferred benefits. What different generations are looking for that they consider a benefit, right? For example, baby boomers, just a reminder, 1946 to 1964, we're looking for retirement plans and health care. That was what we considered a benefit. Gen X, just a reminder, 1965 to 1980, they're looking for a flexible schedule and remote work. That's two completely different things. Now, millennials, just a reminder, 1981 to 1996, career development and wellness program. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I might be an old school guy. I'm getting kind of old. That's coming real close to they like socialism. So I'm a little concerned with that one. That's how I interpret that.
I hear you.
The next one is Gen Z. And again, that's 1997 to 2012. Hybrid work and mental health. That's 2 generations in a row that wellness and health are a big deal for them.
Yes.
I mean, I got to be honest with you. Those benefits kind of define the differences in a nice, soft way, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. You know, and
are you being yes and no now because you don't want to be made fun of again like you did last week when you made fun of?
I'm going to say that health is one of my core values.
Right.
And this is one of the things that I feel I can serve this generation with. So I bet we were a little harsher on them in other shows. Right?
We have been. You softened up on this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to beat up on them again if you want.
Course.
One more. Let's try. one more of these. We got about 2 minutes on this. I want to try this. Work style. Okay, this is how they would like to work. Baby boomers, goal oriented. We get that. Like that's who you and I are. Tell me what you want, and we'll figure it out. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Gen X, self-reliant, focused on results and value with flexibility. That's close to us. Then it goes to millennials, collaborative, and they thrive on feedback. Now that's a big move.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference, right? Like the first two, we don't.
We didn't care what you thought.
We don't
just tell
want
us
to be
what
micromanaged.
That's right.
And the younger generation really wants to be told a little more about what to do. Right? Am I hearing that right?
Yes, sir. They thrive on feedback.
Yes.
Where you and I don't really care what you think. We care what you want.
Right.
We want to deliver.
Right.
Right. But how I get there.
Right. It's my business, right?
Okay. So that's a big one. So baby boomers and Gen X, when it comes to work style, we're close. We're close. This is where we fall off the wagon as millennials, right? And now Gen Z, acceptable. What's this? Thrive on flexible settings, and again, they need technical feedback. So that's probably why we have a hard time meeting with them. You know what I hear from these last 2 generations is I wasn't taught properly. I need more guidance. They need to tell me more.
Show me what a good job is. Tell me what a good job is.
That's right.
And the other part that I heard about that was they don't want to be sitting in a desk all the time, flexible environments and things like that. They don't want to be sitting in one place all the time.
And so, when we talk about this chart, Joe's over there wanting to throw things at us. You know that, don't you?
We're just having fun.
Joe resembles those. But let me tell you the difference. The difference is it's only when we have to work very closely with them does it rub us, right? Like we can figure out a way. These generations can figure out a way to work together. It's when we have to hire them and work with them, it gets kind of tricky for us.
Absolutely. Well, we got to work together, and the more we understand what they need and want, then the better we can make that happen.
Let's take a break. When we come back, I pulled an article out of the Google, and I want to go over some of this stuff with you.
Sounds good.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it is Monday afternoon, your business matters. We'll be right back. I like that little chart.
It's great.
For a guy like me, I don't know these things. I know that I don't work well with them or understand them, but
it's an easy cheat sheet is what it is. And it kind of helps you understand who you're talking to.
I like it. I
got it too. I got it at home. I
it.
appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So when we come back, I'm going to introduce Katie, just so if she wants to be a part of the conversation, she can be. You do not have to, but if you want to join in, feel free to join in.
Ability, yeah.
I want to interrupt.
I don't want to have to
anybody's
work.
thought, but I will jump in.
I don't want to have to work though. I don't want to have to work
Yeah,
the whole time.
I want flexibility, but I still want to be babied. Well, I can't monitor and give you advice and guide you unless we are face to face to get those facial cues, body cues to know that you're getting what I'm laying down to you.
Yeah. Yep.
And talking through email, there's so much trouble. And
Oh, absolutely. So much potential for miscommunication because you don't get the voice tone, right? Only 7% of communication is words.
Who's over there on the phone? Is it Superstar or is it? It's both of them. Both of them. How come they get two and you get only one? You by here by yourself.
asking.
Yeah. #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. Coming to you from Burner Cigar Studios. Go by there and check out the premium cigars at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village and also in Denver on Highway 16. Tell them Joe sent you and your first cigar is on me. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. I am Joe Vagnone. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. And I'm here with my buddy Matt Rand. Matt wrote a book called 10 Lies We Tell Our Children. And Matt and I have been kind of picking on generation for the last month. And whenever we have a host, they kind of want to jump in, like they don't want us doing this alone. They don't think we're doing a good job of this. And today is no exception. We have Katie here with us. Katie is a cybersecurity and financial specialist with a company. I don't want to mess it up, Katie. Go ahead and please tell us the name of your company.
Cyprian IT.
Say that slower.
Cyprian IT. And it's great to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're going to dig into your business on the second half of the show. But before we do that, give us a little sneak. What's the business about?
We are a managed IT and cybersecurity provider, and we help companies deal with creating a firm foundation to build their business on and securing that for stable growth and to help their employees do what they do best while we focus on keeping them protected and mitigating those risks that are out there.
And because you have a couple of children and your partner is your husband, you might have an opinion on some of this next stuff we're doing. So we thought we'd roll you in on this.
Yeah.
Matt, are you ready to go?
Let's go.
She's ready to she's ready to disagree with us on some of these. I got a feeling.
Let's have some fun.
Okay, so here's the article that I pulled out from the Google. A generation. Here's what it is. Why are young people less happy, and what can we do about it? And we talked about this. I didn't know they were less happy, but I did know they had challenges we didn't have. I mean, go figure. We thought we had a rough road.
Yep.
Maybe we didn't have as rough road as we thought we did.
I think they're dealing with an information overload. That's one thing that we didn't have to deal with so much as kids. We were outside playing, the newspaper sometimes landed on the driveway, you know what I mean?
Right.
But right now we have like 24/7 news cycles and all this other bombardment of information. So I think it's easier for them to feel overwhelmed.
So let's go through some of these.
Sure.
Okay? Because this article is suggesting they're not happy, which was surprising to me.
Yep.
So here we go. #1. Economic challenges. There's about 3 or 4 bullet points with this one, but I got to be honest with you, this is kind of disappointing because we fought so hard in our generation to do a better job than our parents did for us.
Yep.
I think we might have failed. I mean, based on some of this, we may not have succeeded in giving them the better life than what we have. And for example, it's saying the rising costs make it much more difficult. And listen to this list: housing, education, healthcare affordability, student loans, stagnant wages. I mean, we left them with a mess.
Yep.
Go figure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It surprises me that we did that, right? I'm not questioning it. Matter of fact, I'm saying, yep, that seems right. I mean, Katie, you got an opinion on that? I mean, are you seeing the same thing, or your kid's a little bit too young? See, my kid's in college, so we're having a tough time. He can get a good job, but then all of these other calls are still keeping him in the basement.
I don't know. My 8-year-old is happy as can be. She's into sports, and then my 13-year-old the same. I think what it is there are so many things that are thrown at them. Like you say, there's an overload information, right? So they're like, which way do I go? What do I choose? And I think their biggest obstacle is choosing that one thing that they can be happy with, because I feel like back in the day, we could choose anything we wanted to do, right?
But
and
we only knew it two.
Happy.
We only knew 2 or 3 to choose from.
They have so many options, and there's so many different things they can do.
That's interesting. Okay, number 2, social and technology pressure. Now, this is something I never had, which is social media and the pressure that comes with it. I just didn't have any of that. And I get that. I get how that can absolutely, because one social media post may reach every single one of my friends, where if somebody just said something bad about me, maybe 5 people heard it.
Yep. So my business coach had said to me that, what's the fastest way to become depressed? Fastest way to become depressed is comparison, comparing yourself to others, right? And we're telling you this so you don't do it, right? But when you start to look at social media, unconsciously you're comparing yourself to everybody else on there. And that leads to anxiety and depression and all of these things. So it's a huge problem.
You want to have the drive, right? And so competing is a part of that, but you want to be able to compartmentalize and know what it is that is driving you, and you don't want it to be that comparison that you're talking about, just trying to be like somebody else.
And part of what I do as a business coach is I help people become internally driven rather than externally driven through outside pressures like social media or what other people think.
Yeah. And yet the second bullet point on this social technology pressure is isolation. To be careful that you don't go too far in the other direction.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting. So this is a tricky one.
It really is, because can you be connected to 1,000 friends sitting behind your computer screen and still be isolated? If you're not out there talking to people, being with people, it can happen, right?
Okay, so the next thing is uncertainty and anxiety. Now, I have never experienced this one, because I've been a guy that's always known what I wanted to do and what direction I wanted to go, right? So for me, I never felt that. But I've got 4 brothers and sisters, and I've watched them all at different times go through this. So this one, I don't think, because I think it is multi-generational, this particular one.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
They're suggesting in this article that we're pushing big, major reasons why they're uncertain, like political angst and climate change and social issues. So they're suggesting we're pushing these uncertain things on them much more than, say, what you and I got. That's probably a fair statement.
Yep.
Okay. I'm starting to worry about them. No wonder why we need more therapists out there. If you're not careful, you're going to end up like JoJo. You better be careful. Okay. Okay, those of you who can't see, Joe is laughing. I am picking on him, but he is laughing about it. And Katie looked at me like, "What are you doing there?" Katie, that's a thing on this show, is to pick on Joe.
One of these days, he's going to get his revenge.
Oh, it's coming. I can assure you that. Okay, so prioritize global mental health support. So what What this article is suggesting is that we really have to be more cautious on how we deal with this, right? Now, listen, this particular author might be a little outside my comfort, but I get where he's headed with this, right?
Yep.
Which is we ought to talk more about this on a major scale so that they understand it is okay to have that challenge.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I'm all about helping people to develop more coping skills. I am not so in favor of drug pushers, you know, and that's what's really going on, and is what's driving a lot of this too. Hey, take this and you'll feel fine, right? But
I feel like they've been trying to get the word out there about diet and how it affects your well-being, though, too. So I feel like there's that it's coming. I feel a change. I do.
It's funny you say that, because if you go back to the chart that we talked about earlier in the show, health is something that's very important to them. And it wasn't to us. So we probably should be doing a better job of health, because it is more important to this generation. And we haven't been focusing on that. And that's exactly what they're saying. Let's focus on these issues in a better way.
Yep.
You are being way too kind on. Yep.
Well,
You
no,
afraid Joe's gonna kick you out?
Any criticism that I give is because I care. Right. And you know, I'm agreeing. We do need to do a better job with, especially with education, especially with educating people.
Yep. Okay. So push social media reform. Honestly, I'm not really a social media guy. And so it always has been something that's kind of been perplexing to me, like why people really feel like they even have to be on that. So this is a tough one for me. I've got friends of my son, beautiful girls on the TikTok, you know, making enough money to go through college with their short videos. I get that there's money and interest in it. I personally just don't understand it.
Well, number one, it's highly addictive. Okay. Number two, what we are taught in our society is to be consumers and not to be producers. Like the people who do really well with social media, those are producers. Be a producer of social media, not a consumer of it. And those people who are producing it, I don't think they spend a lot of time scrolling and browsing and all that kind of stuff. They're the ones that are creating.
Oh, that's interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought process on that. Yeah. You could
I agree with that too, because I do agree with that, because they're looking into editing. They're putting that product out there and they're editing it. That's where their time is going.
Yeah,
is the creative side of it.
Yep.
You guys are going to make me rethink how I think about them. I normally kind of like, are you kidding me? What are you doing? Wasting your time. But now you make me think they're the real deal.
One of my mentors also said, producers spend more time on their laptops and consumers spend more time on their phones. So think about that a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to have a conversation on real business when we get back. Katie, are you ready for that? Okay. Yeah. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. This is the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. Please tune in as much as you can. Go to the YouTube channel that we have, Joe Vagnone Business Broker. Again, YouTube channel, Joe Vagnone Business Broker. If you would subscribe to the channel, we've got so much stuff going on there, and we'd love to have you share with it as well. We'll be right back. All right. Say what? Okay. All right.
He wants to know if you missed that.
Is that superstar mad that we're making fun of him? No. Superstar is a Gen X.
A little bit more. I'll sit this way.
I was kind of making myself turn a little bit.
Because anything else.
Okay, the rest of the show, Katie, we're going to take in whatever direction you want to go. So if you want to make fun of JoJo, you can do that.
I get to leave and not come back. You have to stay here with Joe. So he's like putting it on me now.
You see, it's fun picking on him because I was his first show that he ever produced.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he really messed it up bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a story I love telling.
Did you remove it from the internet?
Say what?
Did you have it? It's still on the internet?
I don't know.
All right.
So the show's live. And at the other studio, the board operator would determine when the commercials were run. So they could just run them whenever they wanted. So I was more in control in the timing of the show. Now it's every 15 minutes. Okay. And so something happened. There was a mistake or something. And so I said, let's go to break. And we come back, we'll bring that up. And I look over at you. First time we've been on the board. And he looks at me and he said,
No.
I said, we're going to go to break and we'll be right back.
Okay, maybe not.
Now, keep in mind, we're live, right? And I don't remember why we had to go to break. I can't remember. Something broke. Something broke or something. And so I then look at him again for the third time, and I say, we're going to go break. He said, and it was so funny. And he was so upset. Like he just didn't know what to do, right? It was the first time they put him on the board.
30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been making fun of him ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Local Biz Now, where your business matters. Number one live business show in North Carolina. We're happy to have you. We are going strong for almost 12 years. We have well over 910 small business owners and community leaders that we have interviewed. Well over 737, let me say that again, 737 videos on our YouTube channel. Go to Joe Vagnone Business Broker. Again, Joe Vagnone Business Broker, and please subscribe to that. We are live on the book, live on the tubes, live on the chain. We'll be happy to take your questions if you go to Facebook. The one and only Julie is monitoring Facebook, and we'll try and work you in best we can because everybody needs a Julie. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and I'm here with my co-host, Matt Rand. Matt, thank you, buddy, for being here. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And you've already got a little taste of Katie Florian. Am I saying that last name correctly? Florian. You are a cybersecurity and financial strategist expert. Let me try and say the company name. Let me give it a shot. No, I'm not going to do it. What is it? To say it again.
The company?
Yeah.
Cyprian IT.
Cyprian IT.
Yeah.
And your specialty is cybersecurity. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I love asking this question because it's so interesting where people get started. I'm curious, like, did you wake up on a Tuesday and decide I want to start doing IT? How did we get here?
No. I have a finance background. I always thought that I wanted to be in finance. That's what my degree was in. And then when I got involved with the company and started doing the work, I realized that there was a real need for more information and more discussion with our clients about what it is that they actually need to do to implement these things. Because 10 years ago, there wasn't such a dire need for smaller businesses to be incorporating these things.
Right.
So like really getting into why you need to do this, how to set it up, what impact is it going to have for your business. So I dove into, I'm a researcher at heart. I love doing research. And so strategy in cybersecurity and managed IT is what I have a passion for now. So
if people wanted to reach you, how can they reach you?
Yep, we're cyprianit.com. We have our Facebook page for Cyprian IT, and we also have our our X account. We have our LinkedIn account, and you can just look us up there. You can look at my name, Katie Florian, as well.
So I went to your website, and your husband's involved as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I always love asking the question because it's so tricky, right? When family members get in a business setting, and walk me through what that is like working so closely with the spouse. So that I have plenty of stories over the years of people that I've interviewed, and they all surprise me that how you came to work together and how well it actually happened. So kind of walk me through that.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, right?
Right.
A lot of people butt heads, but we complement each other so well. And he is the tech side of the business. He's the owner of the business. This was his first passion, and I grew to love it because of his love for it, and I see his passion for it. So it really pulled me into the business with him, and we work so well together. I know it's a business that, it's mobile. A lot of it is remote, but we have our offices set up where we can, escape if there's need for us to, have our time apart, But this is something we're both passionate about now, and I feel like it's just we work well together. I just can't really describe what it is about it that we work well together. I think maybe two sides of the brain working in different ways for the business.
So do you focus on the sales side of the business?
Yes.
Because I see that a lot in IT, that exceptional IT people, technical people, engineer-minded people really need somebody to sell the service. It's the baker that can bake a really good muffin, that just don't have anybody to sell it to kind of scenario.
Yeah, well, people who have experienced Chip and been in conversation with him and his friends would say he's amazing at selling. He is a wonderful speaker. He is passionate about what he does, and I will say that he is the number one proponent for the business because of it just comes across to people and they know it, right? But yeah, there's an aspect where some of that strategy might come in where you need to speak with people about the inner workings of how to get things set up. And I think my finance background and strategy and working with budgeting and setting up the foundation is important in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So walk me through how that happened. One day you went to him and say, "Hey, I want to work with you." Or did he come to you and say, "I sure could use some help"? Or how's that happen?
Thinking back on it,
he tricked you. He tricked you into. Is that what happened?
It's a Jedi mind trick. I don't know. I had my own thing going. I was separate. We didn't mingle anything together with the business, and then I was, at home with the kids one day, and then I'm just like, you know what? Why not? You need this help here in a way that I am seeing that I can be a true asset to help us, because it's going to help both of us, So I just dove right in.
So how did we run into each other? Is it Julie or I?
You were first brought up to us from Bruce Powell.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So he was like, "Oh, you definitely need to meet Joe, right?" And then we ran into you guys when we were doing the Charlotte Chamber or the Lake Norman Chamber Expo.
Okay.
And we were just a couple down from each other. And so then I got to talking to Julie.
Right. Because you don't get on this show without going through Julie. You understand that, Jen. So I knew sooner or later you had to get up with Julie somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was the Charlotte, Lake Norman Chamber Expo that we caught up with each other.
Yes.
And my buddy, Bruce Powell, shout out to Bruce Powell and Pure Clean. Good guy, good company.
Absolutely.
So
he is.
So how did you and Bruce meet?
Through business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So what is it that you guys say you specialize in, you're exceptional at? What is that?
Well, we're cybersecurity first. So we're proactive instead of reactive, where some people might try to call someone when something breaks down and they're in a rush, that's an emergency, they need to find someone. But we have a proactive approach where we set you up to reduce the risk of those emergencies happening. So we lay a firm foundation for your network, and then we put a roof over it, basically. We secure it for you so that you're not scrambling in the event of issues happening. A A lot of companies will have like little small cracks that they try to patch up here and there, but those cracks can build up into something where it feels like a bulldozer has come through and wrecked your whole business, right? So we're preventing that.
So the how do I ask the question? My background is sort of defining buyer profiles, right? Finding people that are interested. So in your case, what is a good buyer profile? What's a good client profile look like? Do they have 10 computers or 1,000? Kind of walk me through that.
Well, sometimes it'll be a startup who needs help setting up their network because they know that there is potential for rapid growth. Then there are the companies that are around 5, usually around 5 to like 250, 200, 250 is a sweet spot for us. So what we'll do is we'll help those companies be able to set up their network. We can start from scratch, or if they have, they know that they want managed services, but they know they need more, or they have that currently and they know they need more. So those are the type of business, any business, okay? Like it used to be, everybody's worried about those large businesses being attacked, but it's small businesses too now. And regulating agencies are paying more attention and knowing that the small businesses have fallen through the cracks.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Some of my friends, we just like to do Zoom calls, and we talk about business, and we invite people that we don't know sometimes, and we have these phenomenon of Zoom bombers coming in and trying to take over the call. Wow. And we were pretty good at weeding those out. But I mean, even like two guys that want to talk about something.
I've never had that happen. That's interesting.
No, it's a phenomenon. I mean, if you're having a call or something regularly on Zoom, people will come in.
Someone playing a joke on you?
Well, people will come in and they'll do something, either obscene or they'll try to, hijack the call, basically.
Well, that was an issue during COVID when a lot of people went remote.
Yep.
They had a big problem with that with their companies. So it's just hijacking your links, basically.
Wow.
Yep.
No, I have not had that experience.
Yeah.
Interesting. So for me, I never thought I needed to worry about security until all of a sudden one day I'm getting emails from my client saying, where is it you want me to drop this check off? Or, we're getting ready to have a closing. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Somebody has hacked into my email and is communicating like they're me. And I went to my IT guy and he said, honestly, Joe, these small 1-2-man operations are more at risk than some of the larger operations because that's where the hackers are going. That's where they're trying their best to send these fishes and, and obviously I clicked on something I wasn't supposed to click on and it opened up my eye completely to that. So what you guys do on the front end is prepare us what to look for. That alone is a big deal.
Employee training is huge because most of the successful attacks are more than 90% the human factor that you have. It's important to have employee training. 46% of small businesses are attacked compared to large. So.
We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Yeah.
You're listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We'll be right back.
It's like, it doesn't matter if it's like Facebook or like fake wire transfer, like both are like disturbing, right?
Yep.
But yeah, like 46% of the attacks out there is what I was trying to say. 46% of the attacks are against small businesses. So it's like basically 50-50. But, and I can.
What are they looking for? Are they looking for money? Or
it's just data and money. Yeah. So, but these, I can talk about it. I'd love to talk about why large companies versus small companies and why they care about the small companies and the big companies equally.
Because the smaller companies probably have less defenses, probably.
They can get you on one click versus a larger company. They have to be in waiting, searching for a way in, and they'll find the vulnerability. So.
There was. All right. You ready? We okay? Any particular direction you want to go? We good with where we are?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. I mean, I can talk a little bit more about what you said, why small versus big.
Let's kind of start there when we get back.
Okay.
Joe, oh no. I got a whole minute. That's like a lifetime. That's a lifetime. Nobody likes him. He's got no friends. That's right.
The kids these days, they would take offense to that.
Sunday afternoon, Joe said, it's going to be Monday tomorrow. Oh, man, I got to deal with Joe tomorrow. Gosh. Okay.
Looks like you're moving well, though. That's for sure. Oh, good. Good. Oh, yeah.
10 seconds.
Joe's mad at me today. I didn't bring him an afternoon snack. I normally bring him an afternoon. I forgot about it. Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. I am Joe Vagnone. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, and 1400 AM. I'm here with my buddy Matt Rand. Matt, thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So we got like a sharp woman here sitting next to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna need you to carry your load here. You understand?
All right.
Well, you know, when you get these big brain people in here, somebody's got to help me.
Yes, absolutely.
So we were talking before the break, Katie, and cybersecurity is not just for the large business owner. It really
Right.
is for the small. Talk a little bit about that, because we kind of want to turn the other way and say, nah, that's not true. But it really is very important for us to hear this.
Well, the saying goes, you're not too small to be hacked. You're just not big enough to make the news, right? So you have these large companies, they make the news. Now, the hackers are thinking quantity or quality over quantity. So with the large companies, they'll get a lot from it, a lot of data, a lot of money, a lot of pays for that data. So the smaller businesses, you're thinking more quantity. Now, the effort might take a day. There might be like an immediate click. Someone clicks on something and you can do like a fake wire transfer or take over their system, ransomware, pretty quick. A larger company might take, 235 days at a minimum while they're sitting, laying in wait in the system until they find a way to intrude the system. It can be something as small as like a 2-factor authentication with a server that they are able to slip in and do that. But the smaller companies are also the ones who are not putting these measures into place because they think that they're not at risk. But it's like, can you afford to run your business? Yes, you're affording to run your business. You're successful. But can you afford to lose your business over an attack? And so that's what we try to help people see, is that these small cracks in your network can lead up to bigger problems in the long run, cost you your business. Not only just like the ransomware, but legal fees and all these other things, like your brand reputation is just gone from an attack.
It is so difficult for a guy like me that up until that happened, I was pretty trusting when I saw something that said Bank of America at the top. I thought it was Bank of America, or the Lake Norman Chamber. I thought it was a Lake Norman Chamber, know? But that's just not the case.
Well, vendors are high risk for small business because we rely on those vendors to run our business and all these applications like the cloud. And so we're relying on them. They're looking out for themselves. They're securing their platform and their business. What are you doing to secure your platform and your business? Because if something happens where there's a compromise or something is leaked, they are going to be worrying about them and their business. But you are also affected, like Change Healthcare, how they were affected in their breach and they had to pay ransomware. But I mean, you can't assume that your vendors are also like as secure, because they will find cracks somewhere. It just takes longer for them to find it. So
You know, for me, it was interesting because it's as if the problem was me answering questions, right? Clicking is one thing, but then answering their question was another. And I learned anytime somebody wants to ask me a question on email, I'm done. I delete that. But I had to learn that. Because I just didn't know. I'm like, Julie would laugh at me. You want to give somebody, like I would send Julie an email, hey, I need my password for such and such. And she'd say, who are you giving the password to?
No.
Yeah. So I didn't know that was kind of the moment, right, where they were getting me.
Well, things are scripted so detailed now. AI, they can literally ask AI what they want to accomplish, and it'll run a script for them. You just have to insert specifics of who you're targeting, and like, for example, where you want the money to go. And if somebody clicks on something, that script can run down to the detail of actually wiring the money to like a separate Western Union's account, and be done within 2 minutes, and your bank accounts can be drained.
Wow. That rubs you.
Good reason to use credit cards, isn't it? Credit cards are good.
Well,
Debit cards maybe not so good, right?
Okay.
I mean, not to inject that.
Well,
in
that's
there.
one.
I'm
one
with you on that.
small thing with PIN numbers and machines, and there's so many ways that we're being hit right now from all different areas, and it's just people just need to be informed about it. That's just all I want to do. I just want to let people know.
That's right. But to Matt's point, if you do use a credit card, they will help you.
There's a
get
layer of
your money
protection
back.
there. There's a layer of protection there.
That's
Something
right.
like that happens.
That's
Well,
right.
if you're using a company credit card and they've got like a $30,000 limit,
That's right.
how much are they going to protect you?
Right.
How much can they claw back?
That's right. That's a true statement. So let me ask you this. How do I pick an IT professional? I mean, I have no idea what you do, right? So it's easy for me to pick somebody to clean my house because I know how I want the house cleaned. But I have no idea how I want you to protect my computer. How do I do that?
Due diligence, research. You have to not know how the technology has come about or how it works, but you have to at least have a general idea of what the technology that we're implementing does for your business and what the benefits are. And if someone can't explain that to you in a way that makes sense to you, that helps improve your business, then you need to look elsewhere. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you made a statement, I think I saw it on your website, that says don't get caught up in the illusion of protection. You want actual protection. I would not know what to look for.
Well, here's the thing, is we'll come across some people who have been with the same IT provider for like 10 years, and they'll say, we're happy with our provider. I'm like, that's amazing, because good relationships are hard to come by, right? You want to stick with a good relationship. So you are kind of like in a struggle because 10 years ago, what somebody did for someone and giving them a managed IT solution is not what needs to be done today. Last year, look how much has changed in a year in our world, okay? You can't rely on just a managed IT environment. And some people have the illusion that a managed IT environment means security, and it doesn't.
Interesting. Okay, so AI is just changing everything, and now we have to be careful because that in itself, if I start to ask it questions, I may in fact be putting myself up to being hacked.
You're right. You're right. The information that you use in ChatGPT or any other AI platform does need to be carefully thought out.
I mean, that's scary in itself.
Yeah.
I have a friend that says you really need to be polite to AI.
Of course. Like,
Really?
Hey Siri, when you talk to Hey Siri, and sometimes it's just, you think you're having a conversation and you're like, thank you. I thank you for that answer. Oh,
Why
you're
do I got to
welcome.
be polite? Why do I got to be polite today? I yelled at mine the other day.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. That's a really great
Well,
question.
you never
but-
know who's listening
Yeah.
or how they're going to use it against you. And,
Yep.
and it's real. It's real. So AI has so many good benefits. We've been using AI for many, many years in our business, in technology, and working with IT. But just recently, it's become more of a consumer product not just for business. And so a lot of people are trying to use it to their benefit, but a lot of the technologies in AI have not been tested and proven. So I feel like there's a lot of room still for improvement, but there are still some good, like tried and true ways that we're using AI in technology.
So Julie's got your website on WSIC Facebook right now, scrolling. But if they wanted to reach you, how could they reach you?
The best way to reach us is to go on one of our platforms on LinkedIn, or to go to the CyprianIT.com website. There's a contact page. If you just have questions, you have a curiosity about whether you're truly protected, there's a calendar in there. You can set up what we call a strategy session just to talk. Because my job is to inform so that people are more prepared when they're coming into these conversations with us, so that they know what they're getting.
Okay, I want you to hang on a second. Let me just call him out by name, because this will be fun. I want you to tell Chip he's a big chicken, but not coming here today. So
he would have done great here. He would have loved this.
He would have been great.
Yeah. He's a talker for sure.
We're easy. This is not a problem.
He would have taken over the show, though. He would have been trying to sit where you're sitting.
Not a problem. First of all, let Chip know I'm going to pick on him, but he's more than welcome for you guys to come back. But walk me through what it is about his skill set that makes him unique and different. Because let me tell you something. A lot of people can make a good sandwich. Somebody makes a really good sandwich. You know, my background's in the restaurant business. That's why I'm giving these muffin and sandwich experiences. But kind of give me a little bit of his background, because that really does matter. That's the quality of the service you're providing.
Well, I mean, he started young into computers. He always knew that he wanted to be in some type of technology aspect.
He's that guy.
He is. He was tinkering with computers from a very young age. I think he was like 8 or 9. I remember him telling me a story about that. But that just skyrocketed through college, and he knew that that's what he wanted to go into. And he's worked for companies before starting his own company. So I feel like he has both sides of the coin, where you know what you've seen in the companies and you know what way you want to change it to provide better for your own clients. That's one really great thing. And then also change. He's not afraid of change. And I think that's very important in our field, to know that you can still improve, and it's always changing in this environment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, your website one last time.
CyprianIT.com.
And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Next time, tell Big Chicken Chip to be here.
Chicken Chip. He's got a new nickname.
That's right. Chip, we want to see you next show, buddy. Matt, thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me again.
Again, another show. We've learned a lot of stuff.
We have. We always learn things. That's what I appreciate about this show. It's a great educational tool.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Monday afternoon, your business matters, and JoJo is going to be next. We'll be right back.